You gotta weigh yourself every morning on the scale to track your progress. If you want abs, just do sit-ups. If you're trying to build muscle, don't do cardio. Squats are bad for your knees. If it don't hurt, it ain't working. Work out every single day of the week. That's real advice some people actually give. That's bad advice. Let me give you some. I want to say this is my top 10 pieces of advice that I would give to you if you're just starting out, you're just beginning, and you're taking this seriously. You're wanting to make that change. I'm talking to you. So let's talk about them. If the first thing I could recommend to you or advise you to do is get rid of the scale. Put that thing away someplace because it's going to deter you. It's going to demotivate you at times. You can't depend on what the scale says, and I know all of us are guilty of it at one time or another. At some point during your progress to whatever you're doing, you jump on the scale and you see what you weigh. I see a lot of people who are trying to build muscle and they rely on that scale too much. They're trying to take it to the next level. They get on the scale and it says the same damn weight weeks on end, and then they get frustrated and they get upset. But the scale doesn't necessarily say what's going on to your body. How much fat you're losing, how much muscle you're gaining. Muscle weighs more than fat. So if you are exercising and you're getting out there and you're doing your thing and your muscles are toning up but you're losing fat, it might be at a rate to where your fat's decreasing, your muscles increasing, so that weight stays the same. It doesn't change. Set the scale to the side. Now, it's not to say to just never mind and forget about it, because number one, you're going to need it to get a basic metabolic rate to start figuring your calories at. And as time goes on, it'll be nice to, like, every couple months just hop on. If you're like, say, 350 pounds, it would be nice to hop on and all of a sudden say in 2 months, holy cow, I lost 15-20 pounds. Then that would be great for it. But if you do it week in and week out, it's not going to be good. So number two, I would say be consistent. Be consistent with everything you're doing. Your diet, your sleeping, your meal prep, your exercise. Be consistent. Just because you get up one day and say, I'm not doing it, and you fall off the wagon, it doesn't mean the next day you say, screw it, I'll wait till next week, because we're all guilty of, I'll start it next week. Stay consistent. Dedicate yourself to it. You can do it. I'm here with you. We'll do it together. We're running a marathon. This isn't a short sprint. Number three, find a diet you like. There's so many diets out there. And then again, this is another one of them things where different types of diets are better suited for some people doing different things. For you and I, if we're just trying to get in shape, we're just trying to get thinner, you can't go wrong with any of the diets. I've tried the majority of them, and I've had success on the majority of them. You have to listen to what your body says and how you react to the diet and to see if it's what you like. Some diets, example like keto, there's a lot of stuff that you don't get a lot of greens in it, or you're not supposed to get a lot of greens in it. So there's different things you got to do. You can also find different science out there to back up a diet being good and a diet being bad for every diet. Just take all that out of there. I think I want to talk about diets in a different video. You got to stick to what works for you, not what works for everybody else. Find what works for you, what you're comfortable with, because if you're comfortable with it and you enjoy the diet, you're gonna see it through. Again, this comes back to being consistent. Find what you enjoy and stick with that. The fourth thing I would say is to set a goal in mind. Let's say, for example, you're 350. It doesn't feel good to walk. Your joints hurt, and you just want to get down to 275, let's say. 250. It's a good idea to have short-term and long-term goals, I believe. Figure out what you want to do. Is it you just want to have better general health? Have your diet and your exercise keyed into that. If you're not wanting to pumped up body or anything like that, you just want to lose weight, then you're not going to go weightlifting 5-6 days a week. Don't do it. Have a goal, figure out how to get there, which we'll talk about a lot of it, and commit to it. So then with that would be the fifth thing that I would recommend, and that is to zero in on the exercise that you like. So again, a lot of this you're hearing that I'm saying is find what's good for you. What works good for you? Are you a walker? Are you a runner? Are you a cyclist? What kind of cardio exercise are you going to do? If you hate running, don't get on an elliptical and jog. That's asking for failure. Get outside and walk. You can go almost anywhere. And nowadays there's a bike path, a trail, someplace that you can walk. And you get hills, you go up, you go down, and it's scenic. And you get on a nice walk, you put your headset in, your earphones, your buds, whatever you got, and you walk. You listen to some music. Before you know it, you've gone 20 minutes one direction, and you're, 20 minutes, turn around. You just got a 40-minute walk in. If you like to ride a bike, pull the bike out of the garage, get the dust off of it, change the tubes, and go. If you like to lift weights, I love lifting weights. Then lift weights. Now there's going to be the days that you got to pull yourself up because you're over it. You don't want to do it. You got to power through it because we all know that feeling at the end of a good exercise, them endorphins are released and man, we feel good. Don't do something you hate. I would love to run. My joints can't handle it. I'm not going to run. So the sixth thing that I would say or talk about is tough. This is the tricky one. Your significant others are a big influence in your success. And you have to know that from the get-go. And you have to tell them that they don't have to do what you're doing. They don't have to be on the same path that you're wanting to be on. But they have to understand that you are making a commitment to be in better health for yourself. They've got to be on board and recognize this. There's nothing worse, and I'm speaking from experience, there's nothing worse than you've been on your diet really good 6 days in a row with no cheat meals, no nothing. It's the weekend, you've worked hard all week long, and your significant other says, you know what sounds good is a pizza. And you're like, and then they say, oh, that's right, you're on a diet. We're not going to have pizza. And then you feel like shit because they're not going to be able to enjoy what they want to enjoy because you're on a different mission. You have to have this conversation. You have to come to a mutual understanding. You have to tell them because they can't read your mind, just like you can't read theirs. You have to let them know if they want to go have pizza, go have pizza. You're going to do your thing, but they can't stop doing what they're going to do because it's going to make you feel guilty because then you're going to cave. And I think if you say that up front, it will make things easier. There's nothing to say that you can't have a cheat meal here and there. Again, this is another conversation. Just opening the dialogue from the get-go to have your significant other know that this is something you're serious about and you need their help. Just talk. It'll help it all. With that, number 7, get rid of all the temptations in the cupboards. We all know we got that little box of ding dongs sitting in the back or the candy bar in the drawer. Get them out of the house. If your significant other, if they want their snacks, tell them. Hide them. Let me go outside for a minute and you hide them someplace I'm not going to find them. Replace it with things like sugar-free Jell-O, sugar-free pudding. Veggies, obviously, we don't like to hear it. Eat your veggies or have a veggie, whatever. But there are great alternatives. You can go get these 70-calorie snacks that they have. I have some. They're it's like a cinnamon coffee cake. I love to have a cinnamon coffee cake with a cup of coffee on a Saturday morning. It's so good. It's only 70 calories, but it's so good. But if you do things like that, it's going to help you. The 8th thing that I would say, the 8th tip piece of advice I would give is allow yourself to live. You can't be strict 7 days in a row, 7 days in a row, 7 days in a row. All of a sudden your mind's going to flip on you and then you're going to fall off the wagon and you're going to have to start all over. Give yourself a cheat meal or two during the week. Give yourself one cheat day for the week. You will see, and maybe that's another video that I'll do to show you, to prove to you, I'm not BSing you. You can have a cheat day and you're not going to put 10 pounds back on. You're not going to put 5 pounds back on. You're not going to put 3 pounds back on. But this is going to help your sanity. Enjoy tacos. Enjoy a piece of cake every once in a while. Stay committed to your diet 90% of the time and then give yourself a little bit of wiggle room so that during the week you can say, I'm craving a piece of chocolate. I'm not going to have an entire candy bar, but I'm going to have this little snippet piece just to calm them cravings. It's not going to ruin your progress. The 9th thing that I would say is listen to your body. Listen to what your body's telling you. There's nothing wrong with taking advice from somebody else and trying something out. There's nothing wrong with trying something new out. Just because Joe Blow can do this specific diet and lose weight like this doesn't mean it's going to work for you, because you might feel like crap doing whatever it is that you were recommended to do that you tried. So when your body is speaking to you, and then even with your exercise, when you get these aches and pains and strains, listen to your body and rest. This is the marathon, it's not the sprint. The last thing I would say is enjoy wearing clothes more comfortably that were really snug or hard to get on a little while ago. Enjoy every one of those little victories. Celebrate them. Show your friends and family. You would be surprised on how well people receive you and give you that little bit of encouragement you need. Every time you get that belt and you got to put a new little hole in it because you can tighten it up a little bit more, be happy about it. It's a great thing. Enjoy the progress. You didn't gain 100 pounds, 50 pounds, 20 pounds overnight, in a week, in a month. It took some time. It's going to take you some time to get rid of that weight as well. So that's going to do it for this video. Hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. Yeah, we'll see you on the next one.